So as promised, here is part 2 of solving equations by substitution. So we went through, we found 3, -1, all right? And we're going to jump to the next page. I'm going to do number 5 with you just because it's a little bit different. And then I will do 7 and 9 with you because those are special cases, all right? So for this one, as you can see, we don't have like a y equals or an x equals standing alone yet. So you want to look for a variable that's by itself now. Okay, so in this case, I do have the y by itself. There's no number with it. It's not like 2y or in the case on the bottom, 3y. All right, so this is going to be the easiest one. We do have to convert this one. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite it. So in this case, if you have 2x plus y equals -2, you need to get the y by itself. So I need to move that 2x. So I'm going to subtract 2x and subtract 2x. Okay, so what you do to one side, you got to do the other. And then I'm left with y equals, bring down your -2x and -2. Okay, so that y equals -2x minus 2 is our converted equation there, okay? So then I'm going to take this and get rid of this. All right. And then now that we have one that has a y equals, or in this case, the variable is by itself, I'm going to take what y equals and I'm going to plug it into the next equation for y. All righty. So I'm going to rewrite the bottom equation. So in this case, you have 5x plus 3, and I'm going to replace the y with that -2x minus 2. And then I'm just going to finish it off equals -8, okay? And then now you just need to solve it, okay? So don't forget, if you have parentheses, you want to distribute, okay? So that's going to turn into 5x is going to stay the same right now. 3 times -2 is going to give you -6, and then just bring down your x. And then you have 3 times -2 again. So again, just -6 this time. And then equals -8. All right, so we distributed. Now we need to combine like terms. So in this case, we have a 5x and a -6x on the same side. So you're just going to do what it says. Okay, so 5 minus 6 gives me -1x. You don't have to write the 1 if you don't want to. You could just write -x, but just to be safe, so you guys can see what I'm dealing with here and what I'm doing, I'm going to leave it that way for you, okay? So then I'm going to bring down your -6, make that a little bit better, equals, and then bring down your -8. And so then now we're down to a two-step equation. So move your friends, move your family. In this case, you got to move the 6 first. So -6, I'm going to change it to +6, +6. All right, these cancel. Bring down your -1x. Or your -x, whatever you want to do. And then on the right side, you have -8 plus 6, which is going to be -2. All right. And then my last step here to solve for x is going to be divide. So I'm going to divide by -1, divide by -1. All righty. So then these ones cancel out over here. I'm left with x equals these double negatives. These double negatives actually are going to turn to positives here, and then 2 divided by 1 is 2, okay? So there's one of them for us, all right? And then now that I found that x, so I found what x is, I'm going to take it and I'm going to plug it into this equation that we converted right here for x, okay? So we're going to substitute the x in for x in the other equation. So I will stick with doing this one in red. So then you have y equals -2, and then now I'm going to take that regular 2 that we just found on the bottom, and I'm going to plug it in just like that, okay? So then now you need to multiply these first, okay? So then you're left with y equals -2 times 2 is going to give you -4, and then you're going to bring down this -2 over here. Oh boy, fix that one. All right, and that's going to be -2. All right, and then the last step here is just going to be -4 minus 2. So if you're at -4 on the number line and you're going to go -2 more, remember you're going to be at y equals -6. All right, and don't forget, we want to write our answers as ordered pairs. So you got to write the x first and then the y. So in this case, 2, -6 would be your answer for this one. All righty. So with that, I do want to jump down and I do want to do number 7 now because I kind of took up the space in number 6 anyways. Okay, so I'm going to jump down to number 7. Hopefully we can fit this all in one video. That would be fabulous. Okay, so as you can see, you don't have an x equals, like I was saying, x equals or a y equal. That's what you want to look for first. Okay, if you don't have that, you want to look for a variable that kind of stands alone. So kind of like we did in number, oh boy, kind of like I did in number 5, I saw that the y was by itself. So in this case, I see that the x is by itself. So I'm going to do the same thing, and I'm going to convert it so the x stands alone. So in order to do that, let me just get my pen situated here. Okay, over here I have x plus 5y equals 4. Okay, so in order to move and get this x by itself, I'm going to subtract the 5y from both sides. And that leaves me with x equals, these cancel, -5y plus 4. So I converted this one to x equals -5y plus 4. Alrighty, that's how we go ahead, and I'm again just going to erase this just so there's not too much on the page to confuse you guys. Okay, so now you have it standing alone. So in this case, this stands alone. That's what x equals. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to substitute it into the other equation for x, just like I did in the top one. Alrighty, so I'm going to write this one. Oh boy. Go to black. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite the bottom equation. So you have 3, put your parentheses. I'm going to plug in that -5y plus 4. And then you have plus 15y equals -1. Let's make that not so sloppy. Plus 15y equals -1. Alrighty. So again, the first step for this one is going to be to distribute. So kind of exactly like we did in the top one. So 3 times -5 is going to give you -15y. You're going to distribute 3 to the 4. So 3 times 4 gives you 12. And then I'm going to bring down my 15y equals -1. Alrighty? Alright, so this is where this one kind of gets tricky. Okay, not tricky, it's just going to be a little bit different. So you're going to combine your like terms. So you have -15 plus 15. Okay, if you were to do that in your calculator, you're going to get 0. So that tells you that these two cancel out. So this is where this one comes in to be a special case. All right, so then you're going to just bring down what you have left. So you have 12 equals -1, okay? And if you look at the number line, is 12 exactly where -1? No, they're completely different numbers, right? So this tells me that this one is no solution, and you're done with that one, all right? So now, before I run out of time on this video, I'm going to try the same thing, and we're going to do the same thing for number 9, all right? All right, so number 9, again, we don't have a y equals, but we do have a y that's standing alone, okay? So over on the left, I'm going to solve it again. So you have 2x plus y equals 18. So you're going to go ahead and solve it for y. You're going to move your 2x by subtracting it. And then you're left with y equals -2x and plus 18. So I'm going to rewrite this one. 2x. Oh, just kidding. Not what I wanted to write. All right. Y equals -2x plus 18. Alrighty. So I just converted that bottom one. Okay. And I'm just going to erase this just to get some of the mumbo jumbo off the paper. Alrighty. So now that we know that y stands alone for this one, oh boy, let me make that bigger. Much better. Okay, you're going to take that and you're going to plug it into the other equation, 4y. All right, so now I'm going to rewrite the top equation. Let me get my fancy pen. Okay, so we have 6x plus 3. I'm going to replace the 3 with what we just found, or the y with what we just found. All right, so I'm going to plug in the negative 2x. Oh boy, this is going to drive me crazy. All right, negative 2x plus 18. Oh, that was much better that time. And then equals 54. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to solve this one just like we did the other one. So start by your distributing. So you're going to do, so the 6x is going to stay the same for now. See if I can get this. There we go. So you have 6x. You're going to take the 3 times the negative 2, which is going to give you negative 6, and then bring down your x with it. Okay. And then 3 times 18. So if you type that in your calculator, 3 times 18 gives you 54. So it's going to be, let me change this to black, positive 54 equals 54. Alrighty, that doesn't really look like a 5, much better. Okay, so then now we're going to do the same thing we did up top. So you have a 6 minus a 6. Again, if you do that in your calculator, 6 minus 6 is going to give you 0. So these are actually going to cancel out again. Alrighty, and then we're just going to be left with 54 equals 54. Alrighty, in this case, 54 does equal 54. They're the exact same numbers. That tells me this one's going to be an infinite solution for your answer. If you need me to do more examples, let me know, but I'm just going to leave it at that for today. Alrighty.